Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Jen. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man is looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. Today we have a man. I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches, and the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost. So you're in the right place. Now, our guest on today's show is a 49-year-old man who is turning 50. So we are justified to say he's 50. And he's looking for a wife, a woman who is not very demanding in terms of class, but also very classy. I want to expound on this so that as many as of those who feel like they tick the boxes can be able to email or to write to Mr. Christopher. Our guest on today's show is Mr. Christopher, and he's a farmer. Okay, he's a cameraman, but within the confines of Nairobi or the outskirts of Nairobi. In fact, he says I don't have to mention his home, but from where he is to the Nairobi CBD is 35 minutes drive. Okay, so 35 minutes drive to the Nairobi CBD. So he's not far, he's actually in the city. And he's looking for a woman who is either divorced officially, or that woman is widowed or has never been married before. These are the kind of qualities he's looking forward to achieve. But before then, you could be asking yourself, why is he single at the age of 50? He's turning 50 in the month of March. So if you round off somebody who's 49 in the mid of January, then that man will be turning 50 in March, early March. So maybe in the next 45 days, he will be 50. So at the age of 50, you could be asking yourself, why is he single? One, he's single because he is widowed. A widow is a woman who lost her husband through death, and a widower is the male version, a man who lost his wife through death. That was in the year 2018, and it was after a short illness. And he's looking for a wife who is submissive, a woman who is God fearing, and a woman who has children, because he still has children who are depending on him directly. The last born is in form 2. So even if that woman has children, even in high school, he doesn't have a problem. So that woman should be between the ages of 38 and 45. However, I have always opined on this show that maybe sometimes it is good to try your luck. If you are plus or minus 1 year, plus or minus 2 years, even if you try, nothing will happen. Even if you try and you get rejected, even if you tried and maybe you felt like this is not the right man, nothing bad will happen to you. So we are hoping that he's going to get a good match, and he's also willing to come back with a testimony. Although he is a cameraman, his name is Christopher. Although he is a cameraman, Mr. Mutiso does not have a problem with somebody from a different community. Okay, you could be from a different, even the first wife from a different was from a different community. So you could be coming from a different community, and that is actually not a problem to him. Most people who are educated, most people who have been able to interact with other communities, most people who do not have a bad experience with exploiting relationships or interacting, mingling and intermingling with different communities, don't have a problem with people. But whoever comes to the show and say they want people from their own community, we don't veto that, because again, this is where you get it served the way you want. Are we together? It is only served the way you want. And Mr. Mutiso feels that if that woman should be willing or should be open to urban kind of farming, smart farming, the better, because he is a milk farmer, he is a poultry farmer, and he's also a businessman. That is why he quit his job. He was a government civil servant. He quit his job so that he can be able to focus on business. Sometimes you understand that even in careers that you are in, some of you are forced. By the time you are choosing careers, you did not have a say. Other times, you are not the one responsible for the payment of school fees. You are not the one paying college fee. So the person who was paying then was very instrumental in making a decision on what you will choose, and that was law. That was final. So there are people who do careers. There are people who pursue careers that they are not even passionate about. You can even tell by the way they handle that career. They don't look forward to anything else. It's boredom from 9 to 11, from 9 to whatever time, from 9 to 5. It depends on the number of hours you work. However, at the end of the day, there are people who feel like although they chose a certain path, although they chose a certain career, it is not going to be convenient for them. And therefore, halfway, midway, quarter way, three-quarter way, they decide to quit. And even if you quit and you still find means for livelihood, you find means where you can find happiness, because at the end of the day, nothing is as fulfilling as being engaged or doing a job that you so love. Imagine you're doing a job that you love, you're engaging a job that you love, you're doing everything according to what you like and how you like it done. If you are supposed to be a doctor, for instance, okay, if you are supposed to be a doctor and you end up in a career like engineering, at the end of the day, that thing will be boring to you, and you will end up feeling like you are not able to fulfill your dreams and desires. Another thing, he's looking for a wife who is not having entanglements with exes, people who don't share custody of children, people who don't share what we call child support, people who don't receive visits from their former exes. That is the kind of woman he would be willing to get. At the same time, he is looking for somebody who is a devoted Christian. A devoted Christian is somebody who goes to church, somebody who holds a certain set of moral values, somebody who believes that there is something to achieve at the end of the day, and somebody who also would be willing to support him in his business. I wanted to note the choice of the word support. Not support him in terms of finances. He is financially stable. So he says that woman should not feel bad if she is asked to support. There are so many ways you can support somebody's vision. You don't have to support that vision via money. You don't have to support that vision through finances. You can also add in your ideas. You can also do like the other guy was asking us to. You remember Mr. Charles, the one we called live on air? He was saying he would want a woman who can even become a HR manager of her firm, somebody who can hire and fire, somebody who can conduct interviews on behalf of the company, somebody who can oversee the distribution of milk and eggs, somebody who can even oversee the distribution of vaccines and various levels of medication for livestock and whatever he's rearing on his farm. So if you're there and you're looking for a man who is doing smart farming, a man who is in the city or within the city, a man who is Kamba by descent, a man who is widowed, a man who does not have drama, a man whose wife passed on in the year 2018, a man who is the father of three grown-ups, but he doesn't have a problem with somebody who has children in school because the last born is in high school, and a man who is also calm, and a man who is an ardent follower of the Anglican Church. So, if these are the qualities you could be looking for in a man, and it doesn't matter whether you have a job or you don't have a job. However, you should not be at square zero. He's not willing to pick somebody who is also trying to pick themselves. So if somebody is also in some way stable, if somebody is in some way stable and looking forward to maybe do life together, this could be an ideal match. At the end of the day, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So I cannot say that somebody is looking for somebody who is beautiful. We are all fearfully and wonderfully made. Another pointer, maybe you could also want to be posted just like Mr. Mutiso Christopher. You can contact our desk on the numbers you can see on the screen. Okay, you can contact our desk and you will be sorted, because at the end of the day you would also want to be on the receiving end. There is a difference between when you get posted and the difference between when you contact people who have been posted. For instance, if Mr. Mutiso is posted right now and he's contacted by, let's say, not even many, just 500 people, unless he does not want a wife, unless he is not serious, Mr. Mutiso will get a wife, because at least there will be people who tick most of the boxes. He can compare and contrast, and at the end of the day, he can be able to choose for himself. He can make a decision on this one is better than this one. That is what we call an edge of advantage. This is as opposed to when he would maybe try to contact the women we are posting, try to contact them, and maybe those women can see men who have better qualities like them, because there will always be somebody above you and there will always be somebody below you. We can never be equal. Are we together? And that is the end of the deal. So we are hoping he gets a good match, and we are wishing you well as well. Contact those numbers on the screen and you will get a response instantly. Until then, this is Jeng Angel. I'll see you in the next video.